Alright, I know what y'all saying. Mad Dog Killer just left a Tay-Rock DNA battle, right? Haha. Nah, my niggas. Yo, I just came back from the movie Selma. I was actually supposed to go see, The Impersonator or something like that, and ended up going into seeing Selma. And if y'all don't know, I didn't see a whole lot of advertisements for this movie. It's the new Dr. King film based out of area in Alabama called Selma. And the movie is based around that. But, you know, it's kind of surprising. I know it was a Thursday night. Even if it was Friday, I'm pretty sure it would have been the same thing. But I walked into the theater, and I walked into the room where we were showing the movie, and you know, this hip hop culture, Mad Dog Killer son, yo, if you haven't subscribe, y'all. I drop heavy content. I'm not just an average battle rap reviewer. You know what I'm saying? I try my best to give y'all, you know, important content for the hip hop culture, and I believe a lot of things. I believe hip hop culture touches a lot of things. It ventures into a lot of areas of social beings. So I try and touch that surface along with giving y'all battle rap reviews and, you know, perspectives. I think I'm gonna end up dropping a blog on the, you know, just the bad business that's been going on. It seems like if it's not stopping, you know, Angry Fan did another radio interview with a couple of PG dudes versus Norbs. I thought it was a good interview. If you haven't checked it, check it out. But you know, I try and touch on a lot of things that I think touches the hip hop culture. And I'm talking about, when I say I'm talking to our people, I'm talking about people that are in the hip hop culture. White, black, Spanish, Chinese, I don't care. Hip hop is worldwide. There's worldwide members, and they're of every race. So I'm talking to all y'all that embrace this culture. So I walk in the movie theater, and you know what's crazy is that we get a good film, black film, and you walk in there, it's practically empty, and the people that is in there is white people, older white people, middle-aged white people. I think there was like 16 to 20 people in there, and me and my son made 4 black people that was in the theater out of 20. And it wasn't a big theater. It could have held like maybe 60, 70 people, and I know it was a Thursday night, but I'm like saying to myself, yo, each showing should be jam-packed, and we should have a lot more hip-hop culture people there. People that are concerned or worried about what's going on now should have seen what's going on then, and get a better perspective of what's going on. Anyway, I'm not going to kill the movie for anybody if you're worried about the plot or what was in it. I'll just say a couple of things. One, to me, it's an A movie. You know, it's an A to A plus movie. Very well done. Oprah had some very gripping scenes. Oprah's in there. There's another fairly new actor I don't know playing Martin Luther King. He's in there. I mean, they definitely had some who's, you know what I'm saying? They had the guy from Lie to Me or in there, you know. They had some good established actors in there. And the overall theme of the movie is deep, okay? And they had a part where they showed where Oprah at the beginning is just showing you how difficult it was and how challenging it was and intimidating it was just to fill out a form to vote. Just to fill out the form was very challenging and intimidating, and how difficult and how much red tape it was just to go through all of that. And they took you through some of the segregation stuff, not a whole lot. And they took you through some of the violence and stuff that was going on. While I say something about violence, let me just say something. The picture that they painted made sense now. And I get it. You know, they always show the picture of Malcolm X looking out his window with the AK, you know what I'm saying, and by any means necessary. And he was a person that used violence to get his point across, or would not shy away from using violence to get his point across. And Martin Luther King was always painted as someone that was peace bearing and was nonviolent. He always had a nonviolent movement. Let me put y'all on to something. They both use violence in their movement to get messages across and to implement change. They both use violence. And I would say they both played chess, except while Malcolm was an aggressive chess player and was what you would call very risky, Martin Luther King was the type of chess player that made sacrifices in battle. So they both use violence, but they just used it in different ways. And what I'm saying is, Malcolm would march with guns and, hey, I'm going to fight my way through. Meanwhile, Martin would go into areas where he knew there would be problems, but the cameras would be on, and he would show America the violence that they're willing to use against nonviolent protests and unarmed people. So he knew there would be violence. He knew that the violence that was had would touch at the core of American families across the nation, and by that he would gain the support that he needed from every race to help his movement. He knew that just trying to get the black race to support the movement or to scream out would not get his point across. He needed to touch America's heart, which was very hard at the time. And the only way you could do that is by showing the violence on TV. And he had that ability. It's very intelligent. It's a very well-written movie, very good movie. Applaud the efforts. You know, Brad Pitt was one of the executive producers. Yo, shout out to Brad Pitt, my nigga. You know, he adopts black kids. He's, you know, damn, his swag is just like, yo, shout out to Brad Pitt, man, because this movie was not a hole-in-the-wall movie. This movie was well done. I mean, they were bombing churches, and you know, I don't want to kill the movie. You know, if you know, whatever. But all I'm saying is, we need to start looking at, as Lux would say, the large picture. Support these movies. Try and figure out what was done back then and see what we can implement today. I thought it was a very good movie. You know, I do these blogs in an effort to hope that I could reach a couple people that may or may not do something, and they do it and it touched their life, and they're like, yeah, you know what? That's good money. So, you know, I'm not going to stay on this too long. All I will say is that they showed Martin being a human being. He wasn't perfect, you know. They showed the U.S. government, especially at that time, where they would do some greasy stuff, you know, not perfect again. They showed Malcolm real quick, you know, his wife. There was a lot that I liked how they did it. And, you know, then they showed some real footage from back then, from back in the 60s, out in Selma. With the bridge and all that, and yo, this was real people, man. I mean, we've come so far that if some of the people that marched and was in that movement back then seen some of the stuff we're doing today, sheesh, man, they probably lose their mind, man. There's so much people in the dirt, dead, taking a dirt nap just for fighting for our rights. Just for fighting for equality, just for fighting for a fair shake where every man is created equal. So many people in the dirt dead just for that, just to have that right, to have an education and to be treated as a man, a whole man, and to be able to vote. My niggas, my niggas, yo, and I mean, it's just real. You know, I think you need to see the movie and let it talk to you what it means to you. All right, yo, Mad Dog, holla.